Hi, it's me, Carrie B. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Share this video with your friends, and don't forget to ring the bell if you'd like to be notified when I go live and release new videos. Thanks for watching. Today I'll be taking you through the Dahlia Days Bundle, located on page 35 in the mini catalog. This is the last catalog that was released a couple of months ago. It's good through June, and I want to mention that the new annual catalog is set to be released May 3rd. Please visit the link in the description below to receive a catalog from me free of charge. All I ask is that you shop with me as a way of saying thanks. Let's get started. If you've never taken time to check out what a dahlia looks like in real life, I would encourage you to do so. These flowers are stunning, and I can absolutely see where the inspiration came from for Dahlia Days. This set is one that Scout picked out when we were looking through the catalog, and I'm happy she did. Now that I've been playing with it, it's a little more complex of a design, but the results are incredible. For the complete list of supplies, please visit the description. There will be a link to a shopping list that will have all of the supplies listed. This is the color palette we'll be working with today. Usually the catalog has the color palette listed, but in this case it didn't, so I just chose from what I had on hand that looked like a close match. We're going to start by blending a sheet of watercolor paper. I'm using Stampin Up Stampin' Inks, and this is Calypso Coral, Bumblebee. I've also used Old Olive, Coastal Cabana, Mint Macaron, and Misty Moonlight. I'm preparing this paper so that I can run it through my die cutting machine with the Dahlia Days die. This die is an extremely intricate die, but don't be intimidated. I'm going to give you some good tips to help you achieve great results. If you like this design, I'd encourage you to go check it out right away. It's not going to make it through to the next catalog. I'm actually blending 2 pieces of watercolor paper. It's a good idea when you're doing something like this, a project like this, to go ahead and make 2 or 3 different copies of the platforms that you're using. Stamp extra pieces. It's always good to have extra pieces on hand, because once you get going on the die cutting part, it's really fun and you won't want to stop. So make sure you have extra supplies on hand for the assembly process. The most crucial ingredient to this design is definitely the adhesive paper. These sheets are a gigantic piece of double-sided sticky tape that you can put on the back of your sheet of paper that you're going to die cut, and it acts like a substitute for glue. Instead of sponging glue on the back, it's a little bit less messy. You can just don't worry about wasting it by using it on the whole entire piece, because it is really worth it. The results speak for themselves. As I was saying, make sure that you stamp extra pieces. You might think, oh, I'm only going to need 2 or 3. Go ahead and stamp extras. You can always put the rest aside for another project. Here I'm using the Dahlia Days stamp set. There's a dahlia that has a corresponding die, as well as some smaller blooms, leaves, and foliage. And I'm trying to copy the design in the catalog, so these pieces will come in handy later. Use a sticky note to help hold your die in place. With a little perseverance, you can line up those jagged leaves, petals on the flower, and then with these simpler dies, you can just run it through once and it will be fine. Now we come to the large, intricate die. Here are my tips. First, run the die through several times and then flip it over and run it through again. It's really important, especially with a thicker paper, that you run it through several times. Then, with the paper still in the die, tap it and a few more of the knockouts will come free. And then use a take your pick tool or something similar with a brush attachment, and continue to try to work those pieces out without taking the paper out of the die. Use the die like a shield that will show you where to poke and work the paper. The last bits will come out on the adhesive backing, so don't despair. If you still have a lot of pieces, just remember some of those might be the adhesive backing. And something I've learned is to poke from the front of the design and pull from the back. That way if there's any tears, it's on the back of the design and you don't see it. So don't pull towards you, pull away from you. Here I'm sandwiching some of the die cuts that I made between this lacy mesh die cut layer and the card. This is in keeping with the design that's in the catalog. And then we will stick it down and add a sentiment. This was a really fun sentiment to make. I used an embossing tool. And then we'll add our embellishments. From the little tiny die cut images that come with the Dahlia Days set, all the way up to what other extra embellishments like matte dots, bumblebee trinkets, or flowers. It will just take the design up over the top and make it very fun and whimsical. Now, as a side note, I wanted to mention the shaded summer dies look great with this set. There's the matte dots, bumblebee trinkets, and I'm using glue dots to affix those heavier items. Those bumblebee trinkets are actually metal and they're pretty heavy. So I hope you've enjoyed this card design, this recreation of the catalog card design. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment below and I'll get right back to you. And I hope you'll join my newsletter, follow the link in the description below, and let's keep in touch. Thanks for watching.